Hey guys, in this video lecture we're going to study about web development. What are the different phases that is involved in web development? For example, we'll study about HTML, then we'll study about CSS, that is cascading style sheet, then maybe jQuery, JavaScript, maybe some framework like AngularJS, Flutter, and some other stuff like maybe we'll study about backend like Node.js and everything. So we'll start with HTML, then we'll get into details. HTML. HTML is basically a markup language. Let me write it here. HTML. So the first thing that comes to mind is the full form. So it's hyper text markup language. Don't mind my handwriting, it's not very good. So it's a hypertext markup language. That's a full form. Now, what is HTML? That's a full form. Full form doesn't necessarily tell you everything about the thing. So, what is HTML used for? What is HTML and when we use it for? So basically, let me make you understand this thing with the help of an analogy. Let's just say you want to build a house. So this is a house. Never mind my drawing. I was never good at drawing. So this is a house, and let's say this is a door and this is a house. Okay, it's a simple house. So if we take a look at the top view, let's just say this is the top view of your house. Okay, so the first thing you can say that you can divide your house, like you can say this is a room 1, you can say this is room 2, this is room 3, you can say this can be a hall. Okay, and this can be stairs to go up the stairs, sorry, and this can be storage, this can be garage. Okay, and this can be entrance. Okay, so the first thing when you build a house is you give a foundation. Okay, and you give a structure. So this is a structure. Now at this point of time you haven't actually built your house. Your house hasn't been built. You have just given a foundation and you have divided your house into different sections. You have allotted some area for your house. For example, let me tell you. So you have allotted this area for room 1. You have already designated, or you have reserved this area for room 1. No matter what, this area will be used for room 1. This area will be the entrance. So this is basically the blueprint. You can say this is the blueprint of the house. It's a terrible blueprint, but this is just for understanding. So this is what HTML does to the web page. Exactly, HTML sets the foundation for a web page. It divides your web page into different sections. Those sections can be header, footer, site, content, and everything. So let me take an example of Facebook. Okay, let's just say this is a Facebook site, just for understanding, nothing complex. So in Facebook you have this header section. Okay, there is a site navigation section, there is a site maybe friend list or something, and here you see something like home. Here you can say groups, maybe what is it, pages, many things. You have many sections. Here you can say there are a list of friends, maybe some other stuff. Okay, this is site content and this is header. So you see a written Facebook, this is header Facebook, and maybe you see a profile, and maybe you see notification bar, maybe setting over here, something like that. And this is the main content. This is a content. So if you have opened facebook.com, you'll see that this section over here, let me change the color so that you'll have a better understanding. This section is fixed. This doesn't change. This doesn't move. This is not scrollable. Whereas this content section, you can scroll down and you can look for the content. New content is updated every second. And this is the header. So this is then used, and this can be footer. You can see copyright thing over here, maybe some privacy policy and other links over here. This always remains constant. This remains constant. This changes. So as you can see, Facebook page is divided into different sections. This is navigation bar, this is content, and this can be sidebar, this is header, and this thing is footer. So this is done using basic HTML. Now, since HTML is used for basic structure, so knowing HTML isn't enough to build a website. If you know HTML, then you can only build a structure of your web page, but you can't create the content. You can format your website. For example, you can't change the color, you can't change the font design or font size or the image size, how the image will appear, the animations when you click on something, animations appear and everything. You can't change the content in real time or the database handling. Those things come under like designing stuff, maybe CSS and Angular JS, and there are a lot of things. So we'll study about those later. So now that I've cleared what HTML is, now let's just get into HTML, how to code the basic stuff. Now HTML works on tags. Tag, what is that? Anything in Angular bracket. For example, I said, Ravi, this is a tag, whereas this is not a tag. This is not a tag. This is a tag. This is a tag. Now this is user defined tag. This is not pre-built tags. So we'll talk about pre-built or inbuilt tags that HTML offers. For example, you have a HTML tag. So HTML, and this is a tag because it's in Angular bracket. So when we start writing HTML document or HTML source code or HTML web page, whatever, so we do it in a text file. In a text file. Yeah. So you need a text editor, any text editor like Notepad or Sublime Text, or there are millions, not million, but there are a lot of options for you. Where I use Sublime Text, it's quite efficient. So whenever you write a HTML document, you can start it with HTML tag, and there's also a thing called closing tag. You need to close your tag. Basically, it tells the browser that I have started HTML over here and have ended tag here, and everything, the content will come inside this tag. So this is the content where you will add the content. It may have some more HTML tags inside it. So this is basically a container tag. It contains some tag or contents inside it. So this is opening tag, and this is opening tag, and this is closing tag. 1, 2, 3. Now HTML tag. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Now HTML tag contains two major important tags. First one is head, and we need to close the head, of course. And this contains the information about this page. Whatever content you're adding inside the HTML tag is not going to affect the content of the web page. For example, the content that is being displayed when you open the website, that's content. So this header thing, header tag, it contains the information about the web page, maybe the encoding, the language, and many things. Maybe the title of the web page. So for example, let me delete this. Okay. For example, it contains a tag called title that defines the title of the page. So I can say hello, and I need to close the title. Title is closed. Now this will change the title of the web page. We'll discuss this when we'll code real time. And now there's one more tag. It's called body. Now this is a very important tag, and you need to close the body tag. And again, you need to close the HTML tag. And HTML tag is closed. So this is our whole HTML document. So HTML started, HTML closed. Head started, head is closed. Title started, title closed, and now body started and body is closed. And the order is in series where you close the tag. For example, HTML was started first, it was closed in the end. Okay, head is started second, so it's closed in second. So you get the idea, right? Now Now, this body tag contains the content. Whatever you add here will be displayed on the web page. For example, if I say hello world, now this will display in the web page. Now, I think this is enough for understanding. Let's jump into the code and we'll code some basic web pages and we'll display it on the browser. Okay, guys, we have a basic HTML document here. This is the source code file. You can say a dot markup dot mark1 dot html, and this is the web page. As you can see, we have Chrome open over here. So let me. So the first thing we do is we add a HTML tag. So I've added HTML tag. Here we go. Now as you can see, if when I've added HTML tag, there's no changes in the web page because we haven't added any content. So let me add some content over here. So second thing we need to do, we need to add a head tag. Now head tag can contain, like we discuss, title tag. Title. Now we need to close this tag. Now in the title we can set the title. Now you can actually change the color of this text, though now we don't change color using HTML. We do that using CSS, but you can do that. Earlier when there was no CSS, we used to change the color using font. So you can say font, sorry, color equal to red. Now you need to close the font. Now what it won't change the color of this hello world because this hello world text is not inside the font, so effect won't take place. For example, if I refresh it, it won't take place. But if I cut this thing out and paste it inside the font tag, so you can see we have hello world how are you here, but it's in red. So we have given some value. You can make, and let's add something like again, hello world, how are you. So now you can see we have our content over. Let me zoom in so that you get a clear view. Okay, so here we go. So you have that, you have green color text, maybe you can say pink. Now you have that pink. And if you say white, you won't be able to see the text because the text is still there, but it's in white colors, but the background is white, so it's not visible. Now we nowadays don't use HTML tag to change the color. We only use HTML to give a structure or to divide the web pages into different sections. In order to, so changing color is a part of formatting the web page. Maybe changing the font size and font color and anything. It comes under CSS, that is cascading style. So we'll do a bit of CSS over here. So let me delete this and we'll delete this font, and let me put this thing into p tag. P tag is used for paragraph. So let me cut this out and we have, okay, so we have our document for hello world, how are you. There's no formatting, there's no colors. So in order to add a style over here, what I can say here is, I can say style is equal to color, and I can say red. Now you see you have a red color. Now this is a part of CSS, and this is called inline CSS because we have added the CSS uh, text or CSS, all the rules in a single line. So it's called inline CSS. You can also multiple CSS over here by using a semicolon, or I can say size, font size, maybe 30 pixels, or maybe I can say 2 pixels. That would, okay, you can't see it, that's quite small. So now you can change the size. So this is called inline CSS. We can we'll study about CSS in very deep, and HTML we haven't done. We're not done with HTML right now. You can add some more things. For example, you can break some line. If you want this how you should appear in the next line. If you break a line over here, if you save it and you refresh it, you won't see the difference because it's all same to HTML. So you need to use a tag over here that is break line. So this will break the document. So now you see how are you is appearing in the next line. So these are the basic tag. Now this break tag doesn't require any closing tag because it's non-container document. document. It doesn't require any closing, so we're not going to do something like this. This is wrong. We don't need that. Okay, so this was a basic, very basic, like the most basic HTML tutorial you can get, and we'll get into details maybe later. So stay tuned for next video lecture.